Kaylee Richardson from the Honeystead and her mom, Brigitte, joined us for a Stream Team live beekeeping chat a while back. And this segment, we talked about homesteading and beekeeping. I hope you enjoy this Stream Team Nugget.
So you guys are in. You guys are. I think what I like about what you guys do is are the old ways are the new ways, or at least a lot of us are pushing for that. You guys are in tune with a lot of the old time ways of doing things, and I think what's neat about that is you can't be a beekeeper and not see the full picture, how everything is integrated, whether
Yeah.
it's your pigs, your cows, your chickens, your garden, your medicine. It's all one picture, and it wasn't really that long ago where the things like you guys do and a lot of us do on the homestead, what was a way of life, not because we necessarily chose that way. That's the way it was to survive. And because of all the folks that came before us who dug in, made all those things happen, it's given us an opportunity to really appreciate that in a different light now versus then. How did you guys get into the old time ways of not only growing and harvesting and making your own medicine, but how did you guys get into this whole thing where you have a complete full picture, a well-rounded circle of life there?
So I think, in short, I think if it feels good, you do it. You know, if it feels right, and if it just happens, there's a reason. You know, I'm gonna let this kind of be that right now, every little step that we've done and taken along the way has definitely been guided. I think that there is a curiosity towards looking at our history, like our family's history, the lineage, what great grandparents did. But I also think that it is a necessity to be able to slow down and take a step back and actually have more control of what you're doing, whether it's what you're eating, what you're putting into your body. You know, let's face it, this last couple of years have definitely shown a different side of the way of thinking. And so share what you know, because it's only going to help somebody else out.
Right.
You know, but I think a lot of it has just been, we've just kind of, okay, let's go here. Let's do this. You know, I grew up in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
I'm going to say it. She was feral.
I still am feral.
She grew up running around.
I didn't have TV like that. I mean, we had TV, but like I never really watched it. I was outside.
We were outside. We had a little house, and we had what we thought then was big land.
Yeah.
And in the beautiful Appalachia area, my goodness, that's, you know, swimming at lakes and going to waterfalls and climbing trees. And
I was feral. I was 100% feral.
Fishing and
finding ginseng.
Yeah, wild ginseng. And
picking pawpaws. You know, I would come back home, my face was black with blackberries, you know, or purple. You know, so I mean, I think that it's been good. You know, it's been good. And my husband and I both agreed that we wanted to make sure that our kids had basic knowledge skills. Right. You know,
survival or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I don't know what category you would put me in, but it's feral. Feral. I'm category feral. So
that makes sense.
Greg, what do you have on your homestead? I kind of started following you on Instagram. I was like, oh, he's a fellow homesteader. So.
Oh yeah, my wife and I, we kind of moved away from the city and got out to a piece of land. We're kind of modern day back to landers. Many generations removed from farming and agriculture. We have 7 kids that we raised out here and try to get back to the old ways, the simple ways. They're simply complicated, but in a good way. You guys know that. But here at the farm, we started off doing a lot of things, like the, probably basic homestead. A lot of folks that are checking in and watching tonight. My wife keeps a garden. She's, if my wife was alive 100 years ago, she would have probably been burned at the stake for witchcraft and all those kind of things with all the herbal remedy. That's just us. We've got, we're surrounded by beautiful plants that are medicine, food that is medicine. Comfrey, you name it. All the plants that you guys know, we really value, love, incorporate in everything from pigs and goats, turkeys, chickens. Bees have been one of those things where it's as we've kind of grown from a homestead to a farm and grow and kind of developed what works for us and what is sustaining not only financially but physically. Bees have been a massive part of that. So now we've grown the bee business to where we have, I'm not even sure how many colonies, a lot, but we saw nukes and queens. It is. Yeah. It's one of those things. It's, with the homesteading and farming, it was fun to try all those things. At some point, you find certain things like guineas are loud and noisy and they're up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they're chirping at your window, and you find out that they're delicious. And sometimes goats, you can't keep them in any kind of a fence. If you can throw a bucket of water through it, it won't hold a goat. So we found, well, the only fence that will hold a goat's a freezer, and that's a win-win. It's just, one little thing develops after another, and you kind of find your niche, and you find really what you love, and you find some things cause you a little bit more trouble than others. But we've just kind of enjoyed really trying everything, and kind of seeing what fits. And then you guys know, once you put yourself out there and you kind of get in tune with nature, you get in tune with all the things that are surrounding you, a lot of things and opportunities just kind of present themselves as you make yourself available and you put out that positive energy towards it. And bees are just one of those things to where it's just, that's for us, that's the main focus. But the hard part about that is when you go from homestead to farm scale, there's sometimes something that happens where you all of a sudden you're always kind of biting off more than you can chew and eating it cold. That's probably every homesteader's motto. You guys know that. But sometimes you get to a point to where you want to put so much effort and you're so passionate about a certain aspect on the farm that a lot of the other things in the periphery are not getting the attention that they need. So you start pulling those things back and pulling those back and focusing. So I miss having a lot of the other animal diversity around, but right now we're literally down to 4 Jersey milk cows. At the max last year was about 200 colonies, a bunch of chickens, and just the mainstays, garden chickens. But it's a lot of fun to do it as a family, as you guys know, to build this thing up and to pass this on to the kids. And then we're blessed and lucky enough to be able to share this with YouTube, share this with our podcast, share this with folks who can kind of tune in. And not that we don't want anyone to look at us like we know what we're doing, but we can pass along some of these harder lessons learned and encourage folks to try it, get out there and get started. And I love that's your guys' channel. You guys do the same thing. It's positive. You're trying to support folks. You're sharing what you're doing. You're not acting like you're the leading expert in anything. You're just, here's what we're doing. Here's how. And you're gifting folks with that knowledge. And like you mentioned earlier, where we are with society and economics, the whole 9 yards, we're getting really fast far away from those old time ways. And so I really appreciate what you guys do. Yeah. And you guys are literally sitting in front of a homestead apothecary. I mean, that's beautiful, so.
Yes.
We had a great time with Kaylee and Brigitte on here that night. So much great information, and I'll post a link to the full-length video down below. We do these Stream Team live beekeeping chats on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern. Feel free to join us. We rotate through the channels here at Bruce's Bees, Greg's channel at Nature's Image Farm, and Brian's channel at Castle Hives. I also have a playlist here on the channel where you can find more of these Stream Team nuggets. I hope you go watch more there. We also have a Facebook group called the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat where you can go out and find out more about upcoming events and videos that are coming up. So if you'd like to see a video where we talk about when tragedy strikes the bee yard and picking up the pieces, you can watch that video right here. Y'all take care, be safe, and we'll catch you on the next one.